Welcome back to the channel. My name is Chris and I'm a gorilla in the wrist. Today I'm reviewing my first SeeStern watch, the 600T Doxa homage, and asking the question, should you buy this one or save up your pennies and go for the original? Let's find out. So today we're looking at this SeeStern 600T homage to the Doxa 600T, so no effort spared in thinking up a name for this one, eh? The original homage watch will set, or the original watch will set you back somewhere in the region of £1,500. I picked this one up for a pretty decent £86 in the June sale, which I think is a pretty good price for this, I have to say. It comes in a smorgasbord of colours, of which I can't remember all, but there's certainly a yellow, a blue, a silver, and we'll pop up a picture so you can see the full range of the watches. But a very, very extensive colour palette being used. The dial itself is a really nice deep blue colour, very attractive. There's a minute track all the way around the outside. The indices at 6, 9 and 12, I'm struggling to think so they're all applied indices, but how you would describe those, they're sort of diamond shaped, I suppose, a little bit unusual. The other indices are all little dots, but again they're all plied, and they all have orange around the outside with lume. There's what I'm going to call a dirty date window at 3 o'clock, and I'll explain what that means a little bit later. When you look at it, it doesn't look like a clean white. It looks slightly dirty. We have fence post hands, fairly simple fence post hands. Clearly the minute hand is a bright orange, and the hour hand is just white, both lume filled, and we have a needle second hand with a square about halfway down. Just to give it a bit of texture as it's moving around. It says SeeStern by the 10 o'clock indice, and at the 4 o'clock indice it says automatic 200 meters. The watch is covered by a flat sapphire crystal, and I am a nerd, so I have tested that. The finishing on the case of this one is pretty good, so there's a really good chamfered edge there. The rest of the finishing is mostly brushed, but it's just really well done. Surprisingly well done, actually. Same is true of the bracelet. The bracelet has a really, really nice articulation to it. It has male end links. I'm going to come back to that a little bit later as well. But it really just goes really well. It articulates really well, and therefore it wears really well. Has a decent ladder clasp, slightly odd. Let's just close that up for you. Nicely branded, mostly brushed, but for some reason with a high polished security retainer. Don't understand why that is. Maybe that's just a feature of the original. It's a little bit odd, but hey, there's nothing wrong with odd. And a decent ladder clasp. The crown is at the 4 o'clock position. Let's try and get this a bit closer. And is nicely branded with the SeeStern starfish. Try saying that after a few pints. Let's get it back a bit. There we go. The SeeStern starfish, and the back has got a really nice embossed big wave style engraving on the back, and again the SeeStern starfish seemingly running away, coward that it is. But that's it really. The colour is really good, the finishing is really good. Let's have a look at the detailed specifications. So I'm going to do a quick run through the specifications. So this has a dial width of 40mm. The lug to lug, which is advertised at 48, is actually 52, but it has a fairly standard lug width of 20mm, and the thickness of the watch comes in a reasonable 13mm. It has an NH35 movement in it, weighs in at a quite chunky 175 grams, has good water resistance at 200 meters, and a particularly nice flat sapphire crystal. So let's see what my gripes are for this one. So the first one is that it didn't fit the gorilla out of the box. That's really disappointing. Even at the maximum micro adjustment, this one just about fits onto my right wrist, but is quite tight, which is a bit of a disappointment. Now, I know I'm a gorilla, but I've kind of got used to, over the last few reviews, bracelets. Most of the bracelets fit. And this one doesn't, which was a real shame. The second thing I don't like about it is those male end links. The advert for it claimed that it had 48mm lug to lug, which it probably does if you're taking it from where the lug actually ends. But from that end link to that end link, you're talking about 52mm. So we're now off into the territory where this actually won't sit well on smaller wrists. It will look too big and it will overhang. And I know the watch it's homaging has exactly the same, but it's daft. just find a way of having female end links and then you fix that problem. But my biggest concern with this, and you probably noticed it in the loom shot, I was looking back at the loom shot thinking, well, that's a bit funny, is that bezel misaligned? And let's zoom in and just show you. So the answer is that yes, the bezel is, sorry, let me lean back a minute. The bezel is very slightly misaligned. However, that's exaggerated by the fact that the indice at the 12 is misaligned as well. If you look at the top left hand corner of it and the right top hand corner, they come in at different places against the markers. And if you look at the gap between the indice on the left from the centre point and the indice from the right, they're not equidistant. So both the bezel is misaligned very slightly to the left. The blob, I'll call it a blob, the diamond indice is misaligned to the left, and therefore it's not a good look, and something you can't unsee once you've seen it. And it's quite disappointing. I was really disappointed, and to be honest, hadn't noticed until I did the loom shot. There you go. Your love of loom sometimes takes a little bit away, doesn't it? But let's talk about the things that I like about this watch. So there's a number of bits that I kind of get. The first one really is just that the finishing. I think the finishing on it is really, really good. They've done an excellent job. I mean, it is mostly brushed, but the quality of the bracelet and how that finishing, it's not quite an integrated bracelet, but how that sort of fits in with the lugs is just really good. Very clearly well-defined chamfered high polished edge there, but the finishing is genuinely really good. The second thing I really like about it is the loom. The loom is fantastic on this watch. I mean, properly fantastic. See you all the way through the night comfortably. So very, very impressed with that. The third thing I really, really like about this, I mentioned the dirty date window earlier on. And what I meant by that is that the date window is loomed. Didn't know that, again, until I put the loom shot on. I thought, oh, well, hell, that's quite a thing. So I really, really did enjoy that. And the final thing I like, and I know they can't take much credit for this, I just like the overall look and feel of the watch. It's got some real presence. Now, I know they didn't design it, but it does. It feels like a quality item. The build quality feels really good. The bezel action is really good. If only I could get it to stop in the right place. And so, despite its weaknesses, and there are some weaknesses on this one, I actually really, really like it. So let's wrap this one up. So I think you probably would have got a taste from the gripes and grates which way this is going to go. I think this is a really good watch. I've really enjoyed wearing it. I wish it was one link longer, because then it will comfortably wear it on my left and right wrist. But it has got some presence. And I did start by asking, would it make sense to save your pennies and save up for the OG watch itself? And I think the answer to that is no. Not at all. This is a perfectly decent watch. My other observation, and I'm sure people will tell me how completely wrong I am, Doxa has a terrible reputation for customer service. I mean, catastrophically bad. And so, should you save your money up and then be treated terribly? No, I wouldn't. So no, for me, don't wait around. This is a really good watch. Many colour schemes, so there's bound to be one that you like. I would recommend this one strongly. I really would. I've really enjoyed it. So that's the review of this SeeStern 600T homage. Hope you enjoy it. Please like and subscribe to the videos. Still got tons and tons of watches I've got to review. I'm not getting through them very quickly at the moment, so loads of good stuff still to come. Again, it's a Saturday. It's a glorious day. I'd like to just end by wishing you a fantastic weekend, and to say thank you for seeing this one through to the end. Take care, everybody. See you again soon. Bye bye.